Why, hello! Welcome to the show. We are a little late this week, but that's okay. Anyway, I am gonna hit a couple buttons here and do that. Hi, Zach. How you, maybe I should ask how you're feeling instead of how you're
Well,
doing.
how do I sound? I mean, it kind of speaks for itself.
You know what, though? Like, you just sound really tired, is all.
Well, I am. That would be a thing, yeah. My voice has gotten a lot better over the afternoon, I will say that.
I see. So you just been mostly sleeping all day then?
No,
Oh, I thought
I
maybe it would
slept
be.
till like noon,
Uh,
like one does on the weekend.
I uh I woke up this morning and what the heck? Hang on. Let me oh no, I don't want that set for auto. Why does this keep resetting itself? Oh, come on. Oh, son of a biscuit. I'm trying to adjust the white balance on my camera because it looks horrible. Anyway, while I sit here and wait for this to, change, I'll just keep talking. The color's gonna look horrible for a moment. Anyway, so I got up this morning and, I think I mentioned one of my family members had a knee replacement, so I've been taking care of that. And, so as such, I was tasked with setting up the live stream. So I created a live stream for the church a while back when we were doing renovations, and now we have it in place for overflow. And so I was tasked with getting that set up this morning so that this particular individual could watch mass this morning. So woke up for that, and then I totally fell back asleep for like I don't know how long, but a long time. So anyway, let's see here. 2400 Kelvin. That looks pretty good. That's what I was going for. Okay. My color looks way better now on my webcam. But anyway, yeah, so I kind of did the same thing. I've been. Work has been crazy over the last couple weeks. The week previous, our manager was out of town, so that was fun. And then this week, we had a guy on PTO, and then we were supposed to have another guy, and he ended up quitting. So it was just me and my manager this week, and so that was kind of fun. And things should hopefully somewhat be back to normal-ish next week. So, but yeah. So that's been my week. So when did the jerk that was sick bring in the sickness to work?
Like Tuesday? I don't know.
Was it somebody in the IT department?
Yeah, I would have been the only person I could have got sick from. The only people.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. You sit in your little box all day and don't interact with people.
That's
and...
right.
This is a perfect job for you, Zach. You literally don't have to deal with other non-techie people pretty much all day.
You mean I deal with them all the time?
Yeah, but
Not true.
Okay, yeah, but you just remote into their computers.
Yeah, ideally in a perfect world, but some people just insist on, can you just come and look at it?
Oh.
Can you come call me? Oh, God, I can only use a computer with one hand. If I call you, it's going to take a lot longer.
Oh, man. So, all right. Well,
People are the worst.
Let's hop into actually, before we hop into topics this week, let's see here. So on the show this week, what are we talking about? ALEXA will help you find a job. There was a giant data breach from DoorDash. Of course, your Microsoft news. Ring is employing a possibly controversial feature, and more Apple shenanigans. So with that, let's roll the intro. So I actually turned down the volume on this, so everything should be like normally. Anyway, with that, back to us. So yeah, Amazon's voice assistant will help you get a job. ALEXA, get me a job at McDonald's. Yep.
Okay.
McDonald's the other day announced a new initiative the fast food chain is calling the Apply Through. Get it? Drive through? Apply through?
I was... Oh, God.
And which owners of Amazon's smart device or Google Assistant devices can begin job applications using standard trigger words for those two voice assistants. The company is envisioning this as a way to give young people more ways to start entry-level careers at one of its restaurants, and that apparently extends to artificial intelligence-powered digital voice assistants. What do you think?
It's a thing.
You know what the problem with all this stuff is? Like, I can say the Google Assistant, right? But I can't say the ALEXA assistant.
The A word?
Right. Why did Amazon do that? It's so stupid. You can't talk about it without activating it.
That does seem a bit questionable.
Uh-huh. I don't actually have one, and nobody really watches the show, but I might as well just not do it anyway. I mean, it'd be fun to totally... You know what I've noticed, though? So I've seen commercials for the Google Assistant where they actually say the trigger word, and the thing is smart enough to not actually trigger. So they must have...
because it seems to be able to... I think some of them can detect whether it's like someone actually saying it or if it's just like a electronic device with a... Either that, or I wonder if
it might be trained
if
to the
it
voice.
has like sound. If the commercials have sounds in them that the device can hear that we can't.
Well, it could be that, or I think in Google's case, I think it's voice recognition, because I can set my Google Assistant up. I've been able to do this for a long time, so I can train it to recognize certain voices, and you can ask it to do certain things like play a certain playlist or something. And if I send that command to it versus somebody else sending command to it, it'll do two completely different things. Or I can set it up so that nobody else can use the Google Assistant besides me, because it will only specifically listen for my voice. So I bet you it's something like that. But anyway.
Yeah, it's probably something different. I'm probably just an idiot. I don't even own one of these things. Why am I talking about them?
I loved that last week. I went back and listened to last week's show where we were talking about the the keyboard in the remote control. And I was like, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, or you could just use an app. You're like, oh yeah, I'm an idiot.
Well, again, I don't actually have one of these, so I don't.
Anyways,
I haven't had much time to think about how I might make it better to use.
All right, so you can actually complete the application process using the A word or the Google Assistant. After beginning the experience via oh my goodness, excuse me, A or Google Assistant. All they'll need to do is answer a few basic questions out loud. They'll receive a text following their responses to these questions with a link to complete the application process online. So you still
that's a good start, but I'm glad that there are at least some companies are going the extra mile to modernize the process, maybe?
I will give you that. I mean, a
Because,
lot of companies now allow
I
you to
used to
apply
hear all the
online.
time, oh, why don't you just go in and talk to a manager? Well, yeah, I don't know if that's 21st century job application techniques, but,
I know, especially for somebody like you, Mr.
Oh, yeah, that
Introvert.
was, that was terrible. That's not what I want to do.
Yeah, because you're an introvert.
But anyway,
You know,
yeah, have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard that when you're job hunting and, people of the older generation might say, oh, just go in?
yeah, that's probably how I got my first job at
Oh,
McDonald's.
okay, well, yeah.
So
You're not helping me prove my point
I don't
by
miss
telling a story of it working.
Zach. What have you not learned? I just love to destroy your stuff, your stories.
I've learned. I've forgotten many times, apparently.
It's exactly the same reason why I put things specifically in the show that I know are going to get a specific response out of you. Because it's just hilarious. But then sometimes I get totally, like, I get responses that are just totally not what I'm expecting, such as the math one. That was hilarious in the moment. But anyway, I really wasn't expecting it. I was expecting you to just kind of be like, yeah, I don't really feel like it. I wasn't expecting. No, I'm not. So, anyway, I mean, here's the thing about this, though. You still got to fill out the physical application. But I think you're right. I think the idea is to modernize it in a way that makes more sense to millennials, or not even millennials, because we're millennials. Are you?
Because think about your average teenager is gonna find this much more appealing,
Yeah, you still got to fill out a physical application, but
of course, but it's maybe.
But okay, the fact that it sends you a
guess.
text message, though, like, yeah, you're right.
Like, that's neat. Like, you just talk to the A thing, and you get a text message, and then you write some stuff out on your phone, and congrats, you've applied for a job.
Yeah.
Jobs are good.
So let's see here. So yeah. They receive a text following their responses to these questions with a link to complete the application online. Simple as that. Reads McDonald's press release. But perhaps it's actually using a computer or your phone to start applying to a job at McDonald's. But perhaps if actually using a computer or your phone to start applying to a job at McDonald's was too much of a hurdle, getting the ball rolling with a hands-free voice request might do the trick.
That's what I was referring to.
So the initiative is part of a growing series of tech-adjacent efforts McDonald's has made over the last few years, designed to fashion it as a hip, millennial-friendly brand. Yeah, but I think we're past the millennial age a little bit, aren't we?
I don't know.
Well, I'm a millennial, and I'm, 20, 25? How old are you?
21.
Yeah, okay. So I think you're right on the cusp of being a millennial, or you're a Gen X. Or Gen Z. What is it, Gen X or Gen Z? I don't even know. Anyway. The point is that we're both already in the workforce. Like, we're not, like, this. So trying to appeal to the millennial age? I don't know. Anyway. So, the company has struggled over the course of the last decade. Excuse me. With the rise of fast casual change, healthier eating and dieting trends, and shift in dining culture that have resulted in less late-night drive-thru runs and more mobile app ordering. Actually, have you seen that? You can actually order through the app now, and then go sit in a specific, parking spot, and then somebody will bring your food out to you at McDonald's.
Nope.
Yeah, that's a thing now. I haven't tried it yet. I've done it like Taco Bell, where I've ordered ahead. I'll do that in a lot of places like Taco Bell or Pita Pit or something like that, where I'll order ahead, or Pancheros, and just go pick up my food. I don't have to stand in line. It's pretty nice. In fact, I did that one day, and like right as I was walking in, there was a whole group of like 50 some kids or something like that. Maybe not quite that many. Like 30 kids, like from a sports team that were all coming in. And of course, you always know how that happens. Like, you know how that works.
That's like a zoo.
I know. So I was so happy I ordered ahead, because I basically just walked all the way up to the register, and I'm like, yeah, I got a mobile order. They're like, oh yeah, here's your food. I think
When was the last time you even went to McDonald's? I don't even know.
Yeah, you don't really eat fast food, do you?
Not all that often, no.
I eat it far more than I probably should, because it's convenient.
It is convenient. I mean, think about it, though. Like, bringing stuff to work, sucks sometimes, you know?
So, my bad habit is I typically do it on Fridays, because Fridays are such a crazy day for me. I'm typically working at one job, and then I'll get off there, I'll go grab something real quick, and then head off to the studio to go film sports. And then I typically end up getting out of the station at about 11 o'clock or something like that. Usually what happens is, so I get back usually about 9 o'clock, put my highlights together, write my scripts, shoot that off, maybe watch the show, or I'll, catch up with one of my old coworkers there, basically, and see what's new and things like that. By the way, if you got me sick, I'm gonna, not you, my coworker, if he got me sick, I'm gonna be pissed, but I feel pretty good, so.
Well, then we could be sick together, I guess.
Yeah, no. I'd rather not.
No, you don't want to? Okay, that's unfortunate.
Sorry, Zach. What is it, just like a typical cold?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Until, the headaches and stuff like that begin.
Headaches were yesterday, actually. No headaches today.
That's good.
I'm actually feeling significantly better today. Yesterday, I was coughing a lot and like chugging water.
Oh my gosh!
Heading to the bathroom on like the hour because I was drinking so much stupid water.
I remember. This was a while ago. It was like last year or something like that. My final wedding for the year. I had gotten strep throat, and so. The problem with this is that here I am supposed to be announcing people and stuff like that, and like normally there's like, so at a wedding you do a grand march, and my job is typically to put everyone in the correct order, and I'm like, guys, like I can't yell.
No.
And of course, by this point everyone's had, probably far too much to drink. They're all really rowdy. I can't yell. So anyway. But yeah, so that was interesting. But that event actually went really well, which is great because it made it go really quick. But that sucked. And I don't typically get sick like that usually, so I was just really annoyed. I'd wake up every morning like, you've got to be flipping kidding me! Like, I am so over this. Just like, no, don't want to deal with this anymore. But anyway. Back to this. In response, McDonald's has embraced the bold fusion of AI, automation, and on-demand delivery. It's also still playing up the nostalgic notion that a McDonald's gig can be a pleasant entry-level affair for young people. What was your first job, Zach? Wasn't it working for like the city or something like that?
As like an office intern at the county government office.
That's what it was, yeah.
But yeah, I just kind of like sat at a computer and did like spreadsheets, but not even like advanced spreadsheets, just like filling stuff out and I don't know.
Mundane tasks.
Like super mundane tasks.
But you never started in the food industry business, did you?
Oh no.
Yeah, so when I got my first job in like 2010, it was at McDonald's. That's where I started. I spent like 4.5 years there. You know what though? Okay, so McDonald's taught me a lot of good life skills, I think. You know, here's the thing. I progressed up into management. So I was managing a team of what, 20 some people at points. You know, to say you're a manager for a Fortune 500 company, that's not that bad. That allowed me to go on to work for other for other corporations in management positions. One of which was a assistant manager position, which probably would have went better if I had better training before, you know, I was just kind of dropped into here, have a store, have fun. So basically what happened was is our store manager got promoted to the interim district manager because our current district manager, his wife was like not happy with him, so he basically stepped down. And so anyway, all of a sudden, once we lost our store manager, I was an assistant store manager who, again, really didn't have the training that I needed to basically run the store. And I was basically a store manager as an assistant store manager. And like I kept losing people left and right because the company was just kind of like I'm not going to say which company, but this particular company just doesn't have a great structure, I think, in terms of like inventory control and just like other things. And so it was pretty stressful. Yeah, didn't go so well. Then I had a short stint in commercial radio. Creative differences caused me to leave that. And then worked for a TV station for a while, and now I'm back in retail, where I actually don't hate my job. So anyway, but yeah. So, but yeah, and Zach worked in retail for a while. How did that go?
Not a fan.
By the way,
Too many jerks. Too
so
much
so
sales.
Hang on. Don't say this. Hang on.
What? Okay. Top secret, huh?
No, it refers to your previous employer, and I'd rather just keep that stuff secret. But yeah, so that's a thing that's happening.
Hooray.
They claim.
Oh, I actually know it. I know what you're talking about now.
Really?
Yeah, I remember.
Did we
remember that place?
Oh yeah, did we talk about that, or you're just talking about the.
I remember
place.
where it was.
Oh yeah. So it hasn't yet. It will soon, and I know everyone on the stream is like super confused, but they claim it's due to like leasing agreement issues. So anyway, who knows?
Whatever that means.
Basically the owner of the property
Legal
probably
mumbo
wants more
jumbo.
money than what the corporation is willing to actually pay for that particular space. So anyway, let's see. Yeah. So, but anyway, so this is the thing that's happening. Kind of cool. Trying to appeal to the younger generation better. So, anyway. Oh, son of a biscuit. Okay. Let me see if I can find... Oh. So, this is the part where I copied the link incorrectly. Let's see here. I think this is it right here. So I think DoorDash and McDonald's are like teamed up or something like that. But anyway, okay. DoorDash announces a data breach affecting 4.9 million people, Zach. On Thursday, DoorDash announced in a blog post that an unauthorized third party, of course, because, you know, that's how that typically... Isn't that like every single like PR press release that we hear, an unauthorized third party accessed our system.
Well, I mean, it's technically correct, I guess.
It's technically correct, but like, well, yeah, no crap, an unauthorized third party accessed your system. That's why it was a data breach. Well, okay, I guess you could have an internal data breach too, but okay, fine, whatever. But had access users' data of approximately 4.9 million customers, dashers, and merchants. DoorDash said names, email addresses, delivery addresses, order histories, phone numbers, and hash salted passwords all could have been accessed. Hey, on the plus side,
Hash passwords.
I was gonna say, yeah, hash passwords. Not like, you know, Facebook and how many other companies that have their passwords in plain text.
Oopsie.
So yeah, to DoorDash's credit, at least the passwords were hashed. So, and Zach, because I'd love to make you explain things on the show. What is hashing?
We've explained this so many times. Fine. Hash passwords have been run through an algorithm made by mathematicians who are smarter than us. And it is essentially a one-way ticket to, make said password unreadable.
Isn't it basically like,
Well, that's not actually true. It is possible, if you had like infinite computing power, you could.
Right, yeah. But it would take a real
it's not possible with what we have.
Basically, isn't it
junk hardware we have,
Basically, isn't it it's like math that's designed to be easy really one way, like,
easy to do, very difficult to reverse.
Right, yeah, like finding the square root back, but like,
it's got like something to do with prime number.
Okay. I see. Hey, Mr. Mathwish,
and maybe it's encryption.
What are the prime numbers?
Prime numbers? I have no idea.
2, 3. I don't know. No, I don't think 4 is prime. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. So, so some financial information was also accessed. DoorDash said that for some consumers, the last 4 digits of payment cards were accessed, but full credit card numbers and CCV numbers were not. So, okay. I don't really know what you can do with the last 4 digits of a credit card number. I'm sure you can do certain things, but...
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it makes it easier to, I don't know. I don't actually know. What can you do with that? Good question.
In addition, some couriers and merchants also have the last 4 digits of their bank account numbers accessed. Approximately 100,000 of the company's delivery workers had their driver's licenses compromised as well. Ooh.
So what do you get if you steal someone's driver's license? What does that even let you do?
I have no idea.
Interesting, I guess.
I'm sure you could, well, hang on. Oh, never mind. They already had delivery addresses, so, I mean, theoretically, I don't know. Look to see how many tickets somebody got? Check their driving record?
I guess I don't know, maybe it could be used for some social engineering, I guess.
Or, you could create a fake ID probably with it.
Yeah. I think that would maybe kind of fall under social engineering.
DoorDash said that the data was accessed on May 4th, but the company did not discover the breach until sometime after it began an investigation earlier this month of unusual activity involving a third-party service provider. The company is informing customers affected by the breach. Now, the breach is believed to have primarily targeted DoorDash users who signed up on or before April 5th, 2018, although the company recommends changing your password regardless of when you signed up, out of an abundance of caution. Well, no crap. That's like the first thing that they tell you in these like PR data breach things is, oh, even if you weren't affected, change your password. Like, you know what? The companies I like are the ones that just like, oh, we had a data breach? Okay, everyone just change your password. And they like make you change your password. I don't know. I actually think that's a smart thing. What do you think?
It's probably smart, although it definitely doesn't make people happy.
No. But at least the company's trying to, well, I don't know. Is any company really, like, protected from being breached at any level? I think when you're big enough.
Well, the only safe computer is the one not connected to a network.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know of any companies who operate exclusively such machines.
Well, so, like, Walmart or something like that, like, doesn't, Walmart doesn't actually directly connect into the internet.
Okay, but they are connected to a network.
They are connected to a network, just not through the internet.
So they are not safe. They're not completely safe.
No, but they're less susceptible to being probably hacked than something that is on the internet.
Perhaps.
So, okay, so the breach comes about a year after some DoorDash customers said their accounts had been hacked, but DoorDash told TechCrunch at the time that there had not been a data breach. The Verge reached out to DoorDash for comment and will update the article when they hear anything back. Let's see, there's correction here. The breach is believed to have primarily targeted DoorDash users who said, oh, okay, yeah, we read that. Okay, cool. Anyway, so yeah, so that's a thing that happened. But, so. Moving on. Time for everyone's favorite part of the show. At least usually ours. So Zach, how many devices has Windows 10 hit now?
I don't know.
Any guesses?
Over 1 billion.
No. Microsoft actually to hit 1 billion Windows 10 devices in 2020.
Oh, okay. That's why you don't make me guess, because I guess wrong.
I know.
Maybe that's why you do make me guess.
I make you guess just to see how much you actually know.
Well, I don't go around checking out on how many devices have Windows 10 on.
I was listening back to a show a couple weeks ago. It was when we were talking about the new Verizon 5G hotspot thing, and I asked you to guess how much it was, and you're like, "Oh, well, I already know the answer," and I'm like, "Ah, crap."
Yeah, can't get me with that.
So Microsoft is edging. I like that.
Get it? Edge?
Yep. Microsoft is edging closer to its 1 billion goal for Windows 10. The software giant is revealing that Windows 10 is now running on more than 900 million devices. How many of those 900 million devices do you think were just automatically updated, Zach?
Probably half of them.
Which is a significant jump from the previous 800 million figure achieved earlier this year. Microsoft says there have been more new Windows 10 devices in the last 12 months than in any previous year since Windows 10 was introduced back in 2015. I wonder why that possibly could be. What's supposed to happen in January next year, Zach?
Something Windows 7, something not anymore, a thing.
Yeah, so sad.
Rip Windows 7.
Yep, for sure. So, I think I've asked you this. I think I've asked you this before. What's the better operating system, Windows XP or Windows 7?
Well,
they were both actually pretty good operating systems.
Yeah, they were pretty good, both of them. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably more partial towards Windows 7 because I
think I am too. I think it has
used it much longer and have significantly better memory of it. I mean, XP would have been when I was quite young and didn't really know anything about computers other than cool computer.
So
But but anyway, that being said, I don't think I can give you a fair answer.
you don't think what?
I don't think I could give you a fair answer.
Oh, a fair answer. I think they were both good operating systems in their respective ways. I am more partial to Windows 7 because yes, I think I also used it longer, but I think the features of Windows 7 were just better, I think. And enhanced search functionalities and uh you know,
Although, my first computer did have Windows XP. It was an old crap desktop that I think it came from my dad's office or something. It was really old. It had like a 40 gigabyte hard.
you mean to
Oh,
tell me Zach's
terrible.
first computer didn't have Windows Me on it?
But it was great because it was mine.
or Windows 98?
No, it didn't have Windows 98. Don't worry.
just, just messing with you. Did you ever actually play with Windows 98?
I vaguely remember, yeah. I would
So
have been quite young. I would have been like maybe 5 or 6.
I remember that my next door neighbor had gotten an old computer from his grandma or something like that. It was like an old hand-me-down, and it had Windows 95 on it. We play all those old like Windows 95 style games.
We had the family computer was Windows 98 for some time. I don't remember it very well. I remember it a little bit.
Do you remember some of the old games?
I remember
back in the
games
day?
that used to plug into it that had like a big, I don't know, like thing that used to go on top of the keyboard.
Really?
Yeah, like you'd have like a steering wheel or something that would go on top of the keyboard, and those were just the coolest.
I
You
remember the
clamp it
steering
onto the
wheel.
keyboard, and it was big and heavy and made a hefty plug.
You know what game I remember playing as a kid growing up?
What was that?
SimCity 2000, and the Oregon Trail.
Played Oregon Trail in history class in 10th grade.
I think they modernized it.
I remember in class we ran it on like an emulator.
I remember when I was. Do you remember like computer class? And I don't know if your computer class was like mine, but my computer class in elementary school was like not really computer class. It was like typing class.
Yep, we had keyboarding class. It was terrible. Everyone hated it.
Do you remember like all the like they created games that were supposed to make it fun?
Yep. All the right type, it was called.
All the right type. I don't remember some of those. I remember.
Well, it was like a program.
Did you guys have PCs though, or did you guys have Macs?
Oh, we had PCs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, my school was exclusively a Mac. Mac.
I had Macs in my school.
Yeah, we were.
Look at you.
We were the cool kids. We had Macs. We had money.
Yeah, everyone hated that class, but
I remember when all the computers in the computer lab got updated to the colored iMacs. You know, the ones with like orange and like blue and I don't remember what other colors, but I remember that. So, back to this though. So, Microsoft says there have been more new Windows 10 devices in the last 12 months than any previous year since Windows 10 was introduced back in 2015. Yes, again, because the fact that Windows 7 is end of life is coming up here pretty soon. The figure includes traditional PCs, laptops, tablets, and even devices like the HoloLens. HoloLens or HoloLens?
I don't know.
I think it's the HoloLens.
Probably HoloLens, I think.
And an Xbox One. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Xbox One does run some variant of like Windows 10. Well, so that was the thing with Windows 8. Remember the whole theory behind Windows 8 was to develop a seamless platform between
an operating system for everything.
Yeah, between the Windows Phone, RIP, the Xbox, and the PC or your PC. But it was horribly integrated into all that stuff. Do you remember the stupid Metro interface
Yes.
and the modern apps, which Windows still tries to use today? Like modern apps are just Or at least I think so.
I actually use the crappy start menu, the hated start menu on my Windows 8 laptop because I was just used to it. I don't know.
You know,
I didn't even
it
like click
wasn't-
on stuff
it
in there
wasn't
though. I
as
just
bad in Windows 8.1. I think Windows 8.1 fixed a lot
Oh,
of
yes.
crap.
see what I would do is I would just type what I wanted. I just push start and type what I want.
Mm.
None of this
I don't think it was necessarily
clicking on
horrible.
tiles crap.
I think it was just the dramatic change, and the theory that your start menu, which had been a staple of Windows for how many years previous, was just gone. The traditional start menu that people knew, it was just gone, and people don't like change. I think there was change obviously in between Windows XP and Windows Vista, and then from Windows Vista to Windows 7 there wasn't as a dramatic change, and then you go from Windows 7 to Windows 8 where it's just like, well, where the heck did my start menu go? And I remember I actually had to look up how to shut the flipping computer off, because I didn't know where the button was to shut it off, because they hid it. But anyway, the momentum is clearly down to the end of support of Windows 7. Yep. Microsoft is planning to drop Windows 7 support in January 2020, and most businesses are moving to Windows 10 instead. The jump to 900 million comes just 6 months after Microsoft achieved 800 million devices on Windows 10. And if this Windows 10 upgrade momentum continues, then Microsoft could pass the 1 billion milestone in the next 6 months. Well, yeah, if you're dropping support for operating systems, most smart businesses will typically upgrade for all the security patches and stuff like that. So yeah, so it makes sense that so Microsoft is basically pushing everyone to Windows 10 again now. But this time they're saying you basically have to upgrade to Windows 10 or just lose support.
Yep.
Like upgrade or lose your support. And yeah. Like I get it. I get that things have to evolve, but I don't know. And let's be clear, Windows 10 is not a horrible operating system. There's just certain parts of it that are horrible. I don't know though. With some of the updates that Microsoft has pushed recently, the operating system is possibly getting crummier and crummier. But anyway, the fact if I update my laptop, I have absolutely no sound. That's not an ideal feature.
You don't need sound. Get out of here with that.
Right. Yeah, it wouldn't make the show very interesting. So, Microsoft previously had 700 million Windows devices in September 2018, followed by 800 million in March of 2019, and now 900 million in September 2019. Windows 10 also passed Windows 7 popularity earlier this year, signaling a shift away from Microsoft's previously popular desktop operating system. Again, end-of-life support. So, anyway. Of course, Microsoft has been planning to get Windows 10 running on a billion devices within 3 years of its release, but the company soon extended that timeline as it was clear the Windows Phone wasn't working out. No. Really? What was their first clue on that one?
Maybe the fact that no one wanted it.
Well, okay. Maybe the fact that nobody wanted it because, we've said this before, Microsoft is always late to the party.
Everybody already had a preferred smartphone operating system.
Yeah.
Not that Windows Phone was very good.
Well, okay. I think the experience, and both of us have never used a Windows 10 phone before, or a Windows phone before. So
I've seen one and not used one.
So one of my previous employers, they updated their devices to a Windows phone. It might have actually been a Windows phone or some kind of Windows phone look-alike kind of thing that actually ran Windows, the Windows Phone operating system. I think it might have actually been a Windows Phone. Anyway, it was for like scanning stuff and like performing specific tasks in the store. It actually wasn't a horrible experience. I don't think the Windows Phone was a horrible idea. I just think that they were just too late to the market with it. And so therefore, and here's an interesting thing. So Huawei will be the next phone that they ship will not include any of Google's. It'll be stock Android with apparently no Play Store and no Google apps in it.
They are feuding with Google, I believe.
Right, but I don't think it's going to go well. Who wants an Android phone without... Because this is what happened with the Windows Phone, is developers didn't think it was worth it to develop another app for another system for a platform that wasn't really that widely used.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, right, if like 95% of your user base is on one of two platforms, the other 5% is on the third platform, why even develop for the third platform at that point?
And so what the issue was that there wasn't the support for apps like there is for Android and iOS, and so therefore the experience was just kind of mundane and people just didn't use it. And again, they were late to the party. And I'm gonna guess that you're gonna see something very similar. I don't know. You might see something very similar with Huawei though, by dropping the Google apps on it. Now, apparently Huawei has their own like marketplace, but again, I think it's going to be very much like the Windows marketplace was, or the Windows Store, or whatever the heck they're calling it now. And you're just I think you're going to see the same thing happen, kind of. So, but yeah.
I mean, they're not moving completely off of Android, which might help a bit.
No, but yeah, so you might be able to sideload.
They might in the future, though.
Yeah, you might be able to sideload apps, but that's for like the really geeky people who know how to do that stuff. So, anyway. Let's talk about Ring. Do you remember the company Ring, Zach?
Yeah.
So, Ring is experimenting with activating all nearby cameras after a 911 call. Call it a new feature. Now, what do you think? Just based off the title, what do you think? I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on this.
I don't know.
You don't know. So
Neat?
Huh?
I guess.
Really?
Maybe? I don't know.
Well, okay, so
it's kind of weird, though. Like,
See, Amazon's Ring was working on a feature that would automatically activate cameras on nearby Ring doorbells so that they would be recording and streaming video when someone called 911. Now, I think the theory makes sense.
It does make sense.
The recordings could, in theory, be used by law enforcement to help with investigations. The feature doesn't appear to be something the company is pursuing right now. However, according to a Ring comment provided, that is according to a Ring comment provided to CNET, Ring seemed to be aware of potential privacy concerns. See, there you go. Around
now,
this automatic
what if you
activation.
could opt out?
Now, see, you can, I think. See,
you can?
Ring owners,
okay, well, that's different.
Ring owners would have to opt in to allow nearby 911 calls to activate the cameras on their doorbells. That is according to emails seen by CNET. But this feature, if it was implemented, could have significantly added to concerns about Ring's ability to collect data on and potentially surveil citizens. See, because here's the thing, if you implement the feature into it, it can be exploited. And who's to say...
I guess.
Well, okay, but
they can already be activated remotely, which is something that could be exploited.
That is true. And I was just thinking about that. Who's to say that Ring isn't doing it already? But, and I think the idea behind it being a feature that needs to be opted into, I think that's a good place to start. I don't know where I'm at with this. I don't think it's necessarily a horrible idea. And I think that they're going about it the right way by making you opt in, or asking you to opt in or not opt in. You know what I mean? I think it would be different if they were just doing it without your consent. Now, of course, they could put something in their terms of service that basically says, yeah, you agreed to the, because we all know how terms of services work. These terms of services can be updated at any point without, or as we see fit, basically.
Which is kind of messed up.
Yeah.
They can just do that, and then they
But you
can just do it whenever
you agreed to that.
Yeah, and you can't use the product if you don't. Who reads them anyway?
So, right? Purchase, remember?
Yeah.
So this year, Ring has come under continued press scrutiny of its partnerships with police and cities, including working with police to help them request security camera footage from customers, and some city governments subsidizing the cost of Ring products for citizens. Ring itself revealed in August that it had partnered with more than 400 law enforcement agencies across the U.S. So, yeah. I'm not against the idea. I think as long as as long as they're asking you to opt in and you say it's okay to, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So, shall we talk about some more of Apple's shenanigans?
Sure.
So, Apple's iPhone 11 and 11 Pro will show a warning on your lock screen if they can't verify a replaced screen.
Oh, God.
Apple has published a new support document that says that the iPhone 11, 11 Pro, and 11 Pro Max will present customers with a warning if the device was unable to verify a genuine display after a screen repair job. If you need to replace your iPhone display, it's important for certified technicians who use genuine Apple display parts to repair it. The page reads, replacement not performed by Apple authorized service providers or certified technicians might not follow proper safety and repair procedures and could result in improper function or issues with display quality or safety.
However, if the repair yields a functioning display, it should not say things like that for any reason. It's stupid.
Here's the question. Is this going to be like the battery thing where you can take a screen from another working device, put it in, is it still going to say, hey, this part's not genuine?
It probably will, I bet.
And you know what the big giant FU is by Apple? Is here. Or not maybe the FU, but basically, oh, hey, okay, we're gonna implement all these new things into here, right? But it's okay. You're a repair shop. Just apply for our Apple, genuine parts program thing. Except for the screen for, and I don't know if this is actually true. I was just watching Louis Rossman's video on this today. But apparently, according to him, an iPhone 6 screen from Apple, any guesses how much that thing is going to cost you, Zach? For a genuine Apple screen from Apple under this program, how much?
$200.
Okay, not quite that much. Like over 100 though.
I don't know. What is it then?
No, it's over 100. It's like 116 or something like that. For an iPhone 6. An iPhone 6, Zach!
That's how old now?
That's a great question. iPhone 6 release date. September 2014. So, you do the math for me real quick, because you're faster.
5 years.
Okay. So, for 5... So, a phone that has been out 5 years, over like $116 for a genuine Apple screen. I am looking at one of our aftermarket vendors here. that our particular repair shop gets products from. Let's just put it this way. I won't say specifically how much, at least not on the stream, but for a premium refurbished screen, which is basically, they probably replaced the glass on it, the pricing is under $50.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, so there you go. Don't actually say that number. But that's how much a refurbished screen will cost me from that particular vendor, where they pretty much just replace the glass for under $50. So, anyway, but looking at that price right there, right, Zach? What is Apple doing?
Gouging.
Well, I was going to say adding the Apple tax, but yes, they are. So, now let's talk about this real quick here. So, anybody who has the correct, and here's why this is stupid right here, okay? Anyone with the correct equipment and enough know-how and enough practice can take the glass off of a genuine Apple display and replace the glass. But that doesn't mean that when they do that, it's going to be a perfect part. And let's also look at this too, right? So this says here, replacement not performed by Apple authorized service providers or certified technicians might not follow proper safety and repair procedures.
But it also might.
Well,
And they're just assuming that it didn't.
Okay, hang on, back up. What are you saying?
It also might have followed the correct procedures and been installed correct. And they're just going and assuming that it wasn't done correctly.
Right, because it wasn't done by an Apple certified provider. But
Which
okay,
is not necessarily
the part
incorrect.
that I wanted, the argument that I want to make here is that even if you are an Apple certified provider, it doesn't mean that your, $10 an hour guy that you're paying is going to do it right.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no way for them to just, oh, hey, the screen's genuine, it must be correct. Oh, the screen's not genuine, it must be wrong. There's nothing there that says specifically.
The screen could also very well be an Apple screen, but, just because the box wasn't checked in the software that only Apple has, it's not genuine now all of a sudden.
Right. And here's the thing. If they're not doing what they're doing with the battery, that case where you can take a display, right, and just replace the glass on it, again, that doesn't mean that whoever is replacing that glass did a good job either. So, and even at that point, then that part is not a genuine Apple part anymore. Even though it'll say it is. So unless this can determine that, the tech, because here's what I've told you. I've told you the story before. So I had a couple people come in. I think it was a mother and daughter duo. And they had taken their phone to the Apple store. And every time it would ring, it would sound horrible. Or vibrate, it would sound horrible. And the reason why was because the Taptic engine was loose. Now, you know what Apple told them?
Need a new phone.
No, they said they couldn't fix it.
Oh, okay.
I opened it up, I tightened 2 screws, and had it fixed in about 5 seconds. So you can't tell me that just because you're Apple certified means you know more, or means you're going to do it correctly. The Yahoos down at the Apple store were like, no. When in reality, you open the phone up and you tighten 2 screws. Hey, that fixed the rattling. Why? Because the Taptic engine, or I love Apple. Oh, we can't call it a vibrator motor. We got to call it a Taptic engine. The flipping vibrator motor was loose. I am not a certified Apple technician, and I can figure that out. But Apple's own quote unquote geniuses, oh, we can't fix it. So you can't tell me that this message here is gonna guarantee that you're not gonna have problems. Because let's be clear with this. Even the best repair shop in the world is gonna get a faulty part. Is gonna get is gonna break something. Is gonna do a repair wrong. Not on purpose, but in the repair industry, these things happen. And just because you have Apple's blessing doesn't mean that you're any less likely to screw something up than the mom and pop shop down the street. And this is that theory behind Apple where we're the only people. See, here's the thing, right? So people complain about this battery thing, right? And so Apple introduces this repair program, right? But like, here's the thing. Okay, let's look at something here, right? So let me look real quick here at what my particular retailer. Let's go for the iPhone 6, right? What do you think my particular employer charges to replace the screen, parts and labor on an iPhone 6, Zach? Any guesses?
I don't have any guesses.
We charge $80 to repair your screen.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
So, if I am purchasing a genuine Apple part from Apple, remember we said that screen cost over $100?
Yeah, you're screwed then, huh?
Now let's look at this, right? Okay, so it's going to cost me over $100 to get that screen in the door, right? I'm not going to sell that for $100 because I make no profit off of that. So I'm going to mark that price up. Not to mention, okay, that I also need to account for labor on that as well, right? So
yep.
All of a sudden, your iPhone 6 screen repair becomes like $150 some for a phone that is 5 years old. Nobody's going to pay that. Just because you want just because Apple is putting this, oh, genuine Apple. You know what? Let's even look at this, okay? So, here's a great, let's look at what is the most expensive iPhone out there right now? The XS Max, right?
Isn't the 11 out now? Heck if I know.
No, I think it's pre-order. Oh, 11 Pro Max. Oh my goodness. Okay, my particular
Pro Max.
My particular vendor doesn't even have a repair for that yet. Or not vendor, employer. But oh god. Criminy. They're using a stupid L-shaped battery in this thing again. Okay. So, for an OLED screen, okay, for the iPhone 11 Pro Max, the high quality one, any guesses as to how much that screen, this isn't in stock yet, but how much that screen is going to run for? On the used marketplace, or on the aftermarket marketplace, basically. So
I don't know.
Throw me a number.
Quit making me guess. I don't know.
Throw me a number.
$100.
Oh God, I wish.
I I don't know.
Over
You made me throw you a number.
over $400.
Wait, we're talking about were we talking about a screen?
Yeah,
God.
the highest quality screen that you can buy.
Like just on the the high. Oh, okay. I missed that bit, I guess.
Well, this is going to be a high quality, probably refurbished, so like refurbished screen right here. It's not available yet, but yeah, this is over $400 to get this screen in the door. So you can only imagine through the Apple certified program how much this screen is going to cost you. But my point is that they still want over $100 for a screen for a phone that is 5 years old, just so that you can have a genuine Apple part. And this is what annoys me about Apple, is this whole ecosystem of, we're better, we know what we're doing, we can repair it better than anybody else. No. The 15-year-old kid that you got working the quote-unquote genius bar, okay, maybe he's more than 15, but anyway, the 18-year-old kid that you've got working the quote-unquote genius bar, getting paid, what, $10 an hour? He doesn't care. And but you're going to take your phone there because they've got Apple plastered on the side of their building. And then you're going to pay Apple, what, like $200 to fix your screen on your 5-year-old phone. I don't actually know. That might be a little outrageous, but like it wouldn't surprise me. It's Apple. So what annoys me is that when I pay what, $800 some for a device, and I own that device, I should be able to fix whatever it is I want, wherever I want, without stupid notifications popping up on my device. I own the flippin' device. Let me do what I want with it. I don't understand why manufacturers have to it's like buying a car and then not being able to use that car because you didn't take it back to the Chevy dealership to get the tires swapped out or something. Like, that would not be acceptable. But why is it acceptable with our electronic devices? Like,
I just shrugged.
And this is what irritates the heck out of me about
2019.
Apple. So Apple goes over a laundry list of problems that could arise if your display is swapped the wrong way or with a non-genuine part, such as multi-touch problems, issues with screen color accuracy and brightness, or True Tone failing to work properly. Additionally, repairs that don't properly apply screws or cowlings might leave behind loose parts that could damage the battery, cause overheating, or result in injury. Yes, that is true, but again, the 18-year-old who's being paid $10 an hour, again, Zach, who's to say that he's not going to make the same mistakes?
He's probably more likely because he's probably not very well trained.
Yeah. So again, this whole concept of just because we're Apple and we're Apple certified means we're not going to make mistakes. No, that is not how that works. That is not how that works. Plus, like, what, I don't know. But what do you think the turnover rate in an Apple store is, Zach?
Probably very high.
Do you think that? I don't actually know. But if it is, that means that you're constantly having people in and out. Like, and if it's not very high, then how long do those people have to learn how to repair a device? I'm not saying that you're not going to have high turnover in a mom and pop repair shop either, but you know, and here's the issue, right? Is if Apple was so concerned about repairs being, done inaccurately, right? Then provide flippin' documentation like the rest of the industry does. How many, okay, here's a great example, right? Is I can go online to HP's website, or not HP's website, but I can go online and search for a particular laptop model and find a service guide for it, right? Now, the service guide is going to say this guide is intended for, authorized providers only, but I still have access to the document. And I am more likely as an independent, or as a third-party repair shop to disassemble and reassemble the device correctly with the service guide that specifically tells me how to disassemble it and reassemble it than I am if I just go off and try to do it myself. But again, the biggest argument I can make is just because you're Apple certified doesn't mean you're not going to screw something up. Yeah. So this, Apple is not afraid of nagging customers about this either. Apple says that the notification will appear on the affected iPhone's lock screen for 4 days after a problem is first detected. Then it'll move to the main settings menu for 15 more days. After all that, it gets pushed away to settings, general, and about. According to Apple, the new measure only applies to brand new iPhones and not previous models. Even if it can't verify as genuine, the display isn't prevented from functioning normally by iOS. So it's basically just an annoying pop-up. It's not going to affect your usage of the device, thankfully, but still. But again, I'm paying $800,000, $900,000 for a device. I should be able to do what the flip I want with it. If I want to take it to the local mom and pop shop, right? Don't you assume your own risk at that point? Or the repair shop does. It's the same thing. You take your vehicle to a third-party mechanic. You assume the risk of taking it to the third-party mechanic. But yeah. So this new screen verification warning follows another alert that Apple recently began showing customers when iPhones detect an unauthorized battery replacement. See, that one, okay, yeah, still stupid, but okay, the battery is more likely to blow up than the screen is. So, we take safety of our customers very seriously and want to make sure any battery replacement is done properly. Okay, then if you want to make sure that battery replacement is done properly, provide documentation for third-party repair shops.
Wouldn't it be profitable to do that?
Okay, but here's the thing, okay? If you start annoying the crap out of your customers with stupid notifications, right? It may very well push people away from your product. Probably not, because as we've seen, Apple is the company that can apparently do no wrong. How that works, I have no idea. But anyway. But yeah, no. We got to figure out right to repair. If I buy a device, I bought the device, I should be able to do whatever I want to do with the device. If I want to open it up and put a new battery in myself, I should be able to do that. I own the flipping device. So, yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, So there's an added element to this display notification that seems a little alarming too. Apple makes it sound as if the iPhone might report back to the company that you're using a display that couldn't be verified, and tie that information to the device's service history. This could potentially cause problems if you need to get something else on your iPhone fixed down the line. I am so over Apple. Like, you don't hear this from Google. You don't hear this from Samsung. You don't hear it from Motorola. It's just Apple. I don't get it. I do not get it. Anyway. It's stupid. That's why I'm not buying Apple products anymore. But yeah. So. Anyway. Man. Yeah. So, anyway, I've got nothing to add besides, screw you, Apple. I hate you guys now. And, this is why I will kind of sort of refuse to buy products from you anymore. So, but yeah. Anyway. Anything you'd like to add?
No, I don't have anything.
So, anyway. With that said, it's time to end the show for this week. Thanks for joining. Thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't. Get subscribed down below if you haven't done that already. Turn on the bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos. And I think we'll see you next week. I think. I don't know. Some things are up in the air. Anyway. Bye!